Good evening, everybody. Fury of Dracula fans and enjoyers. My name's Captain Gyro, and welcome aboard. Today we're going to be enjoying another game of the New Blood Tournament, Fury of Dracula. And my co-commentator with me today is Fangs of Fire. Say hello, Fangs.
Good evening, everyone. And yeah, we've got the good old week one supply train going. Although Mina's reveal is a bit interesting. A steak and an excellent weather. That's definitely intriguing. I mean,
Yeah, that's
of
something.
course, of course, she has to show it no matter what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that practically everyone uh, who's been in the community for a long time has had that game where Hermia happened to draw CG and had to show it.
Yeah, yeah, you never know. I mean, it could be worse than excellent weather.
Yeah, but in any event, uh, about the players, Donojack is hunting. Uh, this is the first match of this last batch of the quarterfinals. At least as of the time of this recording, all the other uh 3 out of 4 semifinalists have made it through. Uh, and it's down which of the Donojack and Altaris will join them.
This is
Uh,
their second game?
so far as I'm aware, only first one. Let me take a peek at the spreadsheet. That will tell me. Uh, that's yes. Today is the first one. The second one, for anyone who is interested, will be happening in three. Depending on whether it's already past midnight for you, 3 days time at 2 p.m. on that 24th would be on Sunday.
Okay.
Well, wait, no, that's noon Eastern. My bad, sorry. But in any event, to focus on the current game, I'm. Did I miss any scouts or anything?
No, nothing to report yet, I
Okay.
don't think. Look at all these
Alright.
discarded Dracula event cards. 6 in 2 days.
Yeah.
And there's another one on
Oh,
top
yeah.
of the deck.
Focus is definitely looking very juicy. I mean, as you likely know by now, at least if you're following the playlist on Scott's channel, well, I
No,
also
I I
competed in the
haven't I
tournament.
haven't I haven't watched it yet. No spoilers.
I was merely going to mention that played, bo- I have played both of these players. Donald Jack admittedly, he, over the course of the tournament, Donald Jack admittedly not in a tournament match, but we played friendly match with each other, and as I gave him a few pointers. Uh, as for Altaris, well, he's I I think that skill by simple skill level. Oh, that's a good local rumors. Uh, considering where it was, but uh, I would say that just so far as skill level, unless things have changed a lot lately, is I think that Altaris has a slight edge, especially with him playing Dracula. Uh, it's definitely his stronger side.
He did practice a lot before the tournament.
Oh yeah, he is one of he is I would say of the people who have never competed before, the most seasoned player. Uh, because he was in the community for some months before the tournament began. So
Lurking
he's
and the like.
yeah, he was around before. In fact, I think that he just missed out on the fall league. He tried to enter, but it was already filled up, if I recall correctly.
Hmm. Good for me. I dodged having to play him.
Well, I was not so lucky in that sense, as he was one of my opponents in the first stage of the league phase. Mind you, it, and why I say Altaris may have the edge skill-wise is, apart from Strider 6x6, only I have been able to dole him out a single loss.
Oh.
He managed 7-3. He lost twice to Strider, and he was able to defeat even Burke Molly, who has made it through to the semifinals.
Ooh,
Uh,
legendary Burke
not even,
Molly.
not even Burke Molly was able to beat him in either way.
Nice.
So Altaris does have a good amount of skill. Uh, mind you, he might end up getting just walloped by people like Pete's Wizard or Scott Sword, but but
I don't
that's
know about that. I don't think the gap is quite as severe as some people make it out to be between the
I know.
best players, and there's certainly a gap for people who are like very new at the game. But once you get a good head on your shoulders, you can swing. You can throw punches with anybody, even the best of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All that being basically the point is that Altaris does have an edge, at least experience-wise. That much. Donojack is among the I would say medium in new people. I mean, which the fact that he's gone this far, the quarterfinals, uh,
Certainly doing well for himself.
yeah. And even if he does lose to Altaris, I mean, Donojack told me that he was that he. I mean, Donojack told me himself that he would not have been all that upset if he had been eliminated in round one. So.
And when I went into the tournament, what I said to myself was, if I can even get a single win, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, sadly, my time in the tournament has run its course, seeing as Wormtown successfully bested me twice, although the second time was mega close.
That rascally worm talon. Got a hired scouts here. Let's see if this comes up with
Yes,
anything big. He's thinking.
and this, yeah,
Do you just go
and
for
I
the east or do you Amsterdam?
Bucharest and Cologne, both
Hmm.
completely valid, I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah, but the problem is he didn't really commit to either the east or to Amsterdam, right? If he'd have put both down, like it's possible Dracula went to Amsterdam and didn't actually go to Cologne, right?
Yes,
Just like it's
I think that
possible
in
that
terms of
Dracula's
Cologne,
in the east and
I,
he never
I,
went to 10.
I think that in the case uh, of newspaper day, I think that it's that you just leave the Amsterdam start with the scouts this day because you don't yet have quite enough information to justify just one spot, and yet at the same time you don't want to waste one card checking for one spot. It's gone to the point where there's enough trail where checking. What I would have done, I would have been Rome over Cologne. Bucharest, I fully understand. But Rome, that's such a crossroads that at this point, that unless he did a hide, he's bound to have been there if he didn't at least start. I
Yeah, it would at least eliminate the bulk of Italy.
yeah, I mean without a high card at least, yes, it could be Naples plus Bari plus Hyde. Uh, as for Bucharest, well, the Galatz starting first encounter at Galatz is not at all uncommon, so I fully understand. But I think Sophia might have been slightly better. I mean, there are arguments for practically anything when you don't know anything.
True.
So
Still, I like the idea of committing to something, right? So if you're
I
gonna
think,
check the east, check the east. If you're gonna check for Amsterdam, check for Amsterdam, but don't halfway check it.
in my opinion, that's not quite yet true. I would say that now is the time where now that where if you're where you want them a bit more condensed now that there's like because it could have been only 2 locations if there's a hide card involved. Unlikely, yes, but it's possible. Uh, I mean, for that matter, I wouldn't have blamed him if he had checked Galway or Dublin.
No,
Uh,
not at all.
uh, but now that's just ruled out simply by how much spaces have been put down. So,
Yeah.
uh, now is when you want them more condensed in a larger area. I would say. I mean, that's perhaps possibly that's just me, but
Here's Harker.
oh, nice. Do you? If you have a surprising return, search. If you don't, ally. That's
Yeah.
what I would say. I mean, but then again,
If you have
many want to surprise
newspaper reports, I would probably search. But
that
if you
too.
don't have it yet, then I would ally.
Hmm.
We'll know tomorrow. Jonathan Harker is not bad. I mean, we have no rumor token. That's what's interesting, right?
Yes.
So this could
And that
be
may and that
Hoax
is really concerned.
Bodyguard, or it could be Hoax
Yeah.
Hoax. It could be. I mean, sometimes Dracula even puts down a spy. I wouldn't really do
Oh.
that, but maybe. Here's another hired scouts.
Okay. So this time, I would expect that he'll poke at Italy at least with one of them. In Italy is something of a unique case, which since it's linear, just poking at Rome
Right.
is good enough. To tell you whether or not you need
This
to.
far along, yeah. When there's this many locations on this road.
Bologna and Rome, understandable.
Yeah.
Although I would have gone with I would have gone with Sophia's. That's the bigger crossroads. But yeah, Italy is since it is so linear. Checking Florence or Rome, at this stage, almost Florence almost entirely rules out that possibility. Rome does rule out that possibility,
I think
and
I think he's in France or he's in the East, and the scouts just missed him in 10 and 55.
hmm.
But I think he's in France, Germany, somewhere in the middle there.
Considering my own
Maybe on the
experiences with
Dracula highway, like with 54, 15, all the way to 60, 41. That
considering
whole
my own
thing.
experiences playing Altaris, I think that the East with scouts missing him is slightly more likely. Oh, nice one. Although, I might have waited until you ruled out the possibility of a hoax.
Yeah.
Considering how many,
If a hoax
I
comes
yeah, I
along
might have
now,
wait.
that would be
Oh,
a
okay.
huge
Apparently, and
counter.
that's a decent Drac event. Not great, but pretty decent. Great Wolf. Uh, I mean that's now 10 Drac events counting Great Wolf. And another one on top of the pile.
Great Wolf is okay. It's not a great
Yeah, it's not the
card, but it's not terrible. If Dracula could choose to hold on to it until he wanted to play it, it would be like completely overpowered. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's well designed in that regard.
Yeah, I don't recall who versus who, but there was one matchup where someone miscounted Mystic Research and gave him Great Wolf, and that ended up killing a hunter. I don't recall which match that was, but but yeah, the people in the commentary booth had quite a good laugh with that one, or rather just found it very entertaining. Okay, so it's obvious that there's no newspaper.
Was that this tournament?
Yes, sometime this tournament, yes. Not, I'm not sure whether it was in the knockout phase or not. Could easily have been in the league, but someone or another pulled that off. One of the launchers was so damaged that didn't have anything to block it with.
Yeah. Yeah, I've suffered that fate before too. Poor Dr. Seward. So we don't have any newspapers. So
In which
Jonathan
case,
Harker is either going to
yeah,
be a huge help or not. Now the good news is, since the rumor token is the third space on the trail, there's a chance that Harker could still bail them out of some trouble here,
yeah.
right?
All right, so he didn't move into Spain after the local rumors.
Like maybe the first card on the last card on the trail is going to be revealed, and it's something they can't get to in time, and they can't stop it. But the information could still help get to the rest of the
Yeah.
trail.
Wow.
This is gonna get interesting.
The hunters seem to be getting lucky. There's nothing all that remarkable in the discard. Normally, you see something or like at least one stake or knife or heavenly host discarded at some point
Yeah,
in the early game.
maybe the items are falling out well.
Yeah, something like. Uh, yeah. Normally, okay. I see that Van Helsing took the excellent weather off Mina and gave her a long night.
Nice.
To just act as their smoke screen.
Yeah, you take this card.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
no.
you search. Even if you
Hopefully,
have no surprising
yeah,
return,
you gotta have
you
Jonathan
need
Harker
information.
stay and play
Yeah,
here.
you gotta have him stay. And fortunately, Donojack is doing that, not Zurich.
Zerk's not on the trail. Hmm.
I would have checked somewhere like Clermont-Ferrand if you were going to go that route. Something a little more central. Zurich is a little too close to the hunters, to where your hunters are stationed.
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, I would
Maybe
have
check
checked
that
some.
or
I would.
Strasbourg or something.
Yeah, I would have checked something a little bit further away.
That's true too, because Jonathan Harker is going to reveal it tomorrow,
Yeah,
and if you find Zurich on the trail, then you can just go right there, hopefully, with your fast horses.
hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, of course.
I I fully expect there to be a hoax among those first two encounters.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's Hoke's bodyguards, or possibly possibly bodyguards first, and then maybe next turn after that he drew the hoax, and that's why there's no vampire till the third space instead of right behind the hoax. Or maybe I mean, maybe that's reading too much into it, and he just wants the hoax and the bodyguards. He wants them both. Or maybe it's double hoax, in case whoever gets to the first hoax gets delayed, and then gives a better shot at the other one going through. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
But
actually for some.
I got a feeling it's hoax then bodyguards though.
We'll find out one way or another. Cause, well, yeah. Altaris is Drac. Strider is the only one who managed to beat him when he was Drac. I succeeded in a basically. Oh, hide at Glass.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the hired scouts in 10 was no good. Dracula must have just misdirected it, or he went there right afterwards, maybe.
Uh, I think that what's going on is that he actually went to Klausenberg next because there were three things down when that scouts poked at Bucharest.
Yeah, you're right.
So therefore, actually, he's gone to Klausenberg, and that's where the rumor token is.
You're a clever guy there, Fangs of Fire. I think that's well deduced.
Thank you.
And then maybe he went on to 6
I
afterwards, and then after the hired scouts went off, maybe then he went to 10.
That'd be my guess. Okay. I'm not sure why exactly. And
Well, with
oh,
Mystic
well,
Research having been played, Long Night will enable them to move into a better position,
yes,
hopefully. And
but at the same
the hoax
time,
is going to shuffle the deck anyway.
yes, but at the
Yeah?
same time, I I can't say I like that because who knows? You may end up discarding CG.
I mean, you could do more damage than you're going to prevent. It's absolutely true. But at the same time, that's always the case when you play Long Night. So the fact that
Yeah,
there's
which is
like
what.
a strategy here with it, I gotta give him credit for that. If the, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he hasn't thought of that, but I mean, I think he has. If this is a hoax, the dex gets reshuffled anyway, and so your mystic research was kind of wasted. So may as well go for the long night and try to get distance on Dracula. That being
I would
said, if
just. I would just.
he could have just
I
held
would
on to
just.
the mystic research, but now that it's been
Yeah.
played, it's been
I would
played.
have simply waited. With there being no rune token, I simply would have waited to do the mystic research. Or if I had played it, I would simply have everyone night supply tonight
rather
to
than
get.
rather than long night. Yeah,
Yeah, because you know that
yeah.
it's
Poor
okay.
poor long night.
Yeah,
What a
long night is
what a badly
unfortunately.
designed card.
Yeah,
The reason for it is it just comes down to a matter of risk and reward. Oh, we got
reckless.
a reckless.
Altaris ambushing because Mina's been showing a stake since their first draw, so you know. Oh,
Nice escape route. He won't get
more than
any
I would
influence
say
with
that that's a
that.
good use of an escape route
Yeah,
because
prevent him from getting his point.
and well, yes, but also that's a rumored vamp, and therefore it's all that more imperative that he kill it.
Right. Yeah. Safety first.
And on top of that, you show one event for not being able to, for him not being able to tell just how many combat items you have. Mind you, for all we know, she could be carrying a dogs too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have no combat
She could be
items.
in no situation to
Mind you,
get in
there's
a
only one.
fight. And yeah, if you can avoid the fight, you avoid giving your opponent the information on your cards. That's true. That's
Yes,
sort of a
I
digital edition only thing, but yes.
yeah. Mind you, it is noteworthy that there's only one dog's left, and all the other things that wouldn't show as combat items are discarded.
Yeah.
All three
Yeah.
Arlecries and all three holy
We've
bullets.
lost 3 pistols too.
Yeah, I mean that's not all that unusual. They just
No, but it implies that he's gotten the weapons that he wants, so he could throw out the weapons he doesn't want.
yeah. Although he's discarded 2 rifles as
'Cause-
well. It
Right,
is
but
interesting.
typically you don't do that unless you're holding knives, right? Or
Knives
already have
slash already
rifles and
have
heavenly hose.
yeah. So yeah, this game is far from settled one way or the other. I mean, the hunters are going to be able to stop Klausenberg, but Galatz. I mean, the only way they were going to stop Galatz was if they had a sense of emergency or renewed vigor. And even then, there's
There's
a
the
hide
hide
card.
card to deal with. It may have been a waste of sense of emergency.
Yep.
But hey, we got the vampire, ladies and gentlemen. It's not all doom and gloom here.
Yep.
That guy's dead. No more top hats for you.
Okay, so I'm guessing. Although yeah, in regards to the hide card, I would guess that that's either a Saboteur or Bats. Uh,
Yep.
those are the typical things.
Possibly fog, but yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of doubt that. Oh, it was a hoax.
Well,
Oh
because
dear.
it's Galatz and it's inland, that would definitely imply it's not fog. But if it's a port city, it could be
Not
fog.
to mention that right away, uh, uh on the that's because you did that hide on the assumption that they would be able to get there in time. Are you gonna use a fog when you could simply use a saboteur to just as good effect?
Well,
Uh, no.
sometimes the fog makes the difference. Sometimes Saboteur's not good enough. But yes, it'd be quite the commitment. But I mean, heck, we saw Strider do it. But he was on a port city. And he was maturing a vampire, not a hoax.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know that.
Also, you play it early, and that way you don't lose it to behind the veil. It's
Yeah.
legitimate strategy in that regard.
Alright. The question is where did he go after Klausenberg?
Yeah, because
And there are only
you can ignore this hide card, so you can start chasing him. Chase him to 10
okay.
or to 6.
I'm not sure I completely agree with. Let's see where he moves, but I'm not sure I'll completely agree with what he's about to do with Goldaming here.
I mean, it's possible Dracula slunk straight to Munich, right? But nope, doesn't look that way now.
Yeah, I'm not sure I fully agree with him doing that without first checking out Sarajevo to check
Right,
for him slinking up to Munich.
right.
Yeah, so I'm not
But
sure
the
I
good
fully
news
agree with
is,
that.
I mean,
Sure, it's on his
the
way.
doctor can check tomorrow at least, so there's that. But you got to be careful because yeah, that can lose you the game then and there if Dracula gets to Munich unopposed, and then by the time you get to him, it's too late and he wolf forms. It can be a real headache.
Yep.
Um, but I mean, would that be worse than him slinking around the east? I mean, he's gonna go to Athens now, right? Now we've got to chase him around from all small city to small city in the east.
Ah, so
Okay.
you need
All
to check for
right.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're thinking Athens per usual.
Uh, I think that considering that there was no, a mob. Uh, considering that there
Which is
was no,
another stake. Oh
that
no,
was
that's
Goldami, not
Godalming's
Mina.
stake. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I suppose that's another thing that Mina would have given away that she had if she
If
had to
she had
show.
moved to 10, she could have supplied for new items.
Yeah, so I think that, uh, yeah, because if he hasn't gone to Sarajevo, unless he's gone precisely Szeged, Zagreb, then he has not been that way, and Seward's close enough to discourage that sort of thing. Uh, yeah, but in any event, I think that Drac more likely went Black Sea Coast and is currently at Sofia.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to try to move to as many of these cities as he can before he leaves, rather than just going straight to Athens.
Yeah,
But
and the
sometimes
thing
it's
is,
tough for Drac to tell how much time he has to pull it off.
well, that's the thing. It when he on the day he was in Bucharest was when Harker was drawn, so he knew that Galatz was going to be revealed. Uh, at that point before he made his next move from Bucharest.
Right.
So,
So he has a little information. Hey, we've got a viewer now. Hey, how you doing, viewer? Enjoy the show.
huh, indeed, we've been rather lonely here.
But we're having fun. So, all right. So, you're right. He could have still got. He could be in 59 theoretically. He could have gone 10, 6, 53, 59, right? But that's kind of like fringe conspiracy theory. I mean, you got to give people what they came here for. Uh,
yeah.
but it's probably more likely he went 10, 50, 55, 3, or he went
Oh.
10, 17, 56, 50.
Hmm. I
Okay,
think that
another
a
river
bit.
token down.
I think that one a bit wasteful. Goldam just showed a stake. They have it.
Yeah,
Unless as a decoy, I will be. I personally consider that something of a waste.
interesting. Yeah, it's possible he just wants to rob them of the stake.
It was indeed Black Sea Coast.
But yeah, Godalming seems he's waving the stake around everywhere he goes. So yeah, let him stake an aristocratic or
Yes,
something.
true. I'm gonna be interested to see just how much he commits to it to the east. I
Yeah, it's a tough call.
what I would do is I would move him simply is actually what I would do. Okay, close. That's almost what I would have done. I would have simply committed him, but have Mina go to Munich, since she needs to resupply anyway.
Does she have a horse? Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah she does.
all
Okay.
only yeah, the horses fell onto the preferred people.
Van Helsing moves to Paris. Okay.
Yeah, I would have moved Mina to Munich so that she could resupply that stake that she lost, or rather used.
And then you could have Seward go to 59.
Yeah, and have him be person number 2 in the east, and have Mina be the gatekeeper, so to speak. That would have been my pick of how to do things.
At this
Oh,
point, it would be too late for Dracula to respond to that, right? Because I mean, it's possible. It's possible he could see that the only thing blocking him was Mina. Take advantage of that.
oh,
There's the stake on the
hmm.
wrist. Oh, it's just as I said. So maybe he's not so crazy after all. There's a rumor token of 56 now, and he took away Godalming's stake. Well played.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful waving those things around.
The problem
You
for
just
Drac
might get a
though,
vampire with it.
the problem for Drac though, and the is that that thing is things are only just going into. Godalming has 3 days,
Oh yeah,
3 full days to find another stake and walk down to Varna.
it's gonna be a while.
So unless Dracula chose wild horses with that hoax, which I pity Altaris if that was indeed the best choice there was, uh, with that many Drac events, I
Oh gosh, and that's so unfortunate that not only did the hoax get through, but also there was an inordinate number of Dracula events at the top of the deck. That's just the worst. So the hunters end up
yeah,
undersupplied, and Dracula gets maximum value out of the hoax. And now the deck is all cobbled back together with Dracula cards once more that you gotta draw through again. It's just a
yep.
very unfortunate way for the cards to fall out.
I mean, on the
And on
I
top of
mean,
everything else, the newspapers doesn't come up to stop the hoax. It's like the perfect storm.
to be fair, the hunters have drawn very well item wise.
Yeah.
As we commented, all the horses seem to fall to the right people just kind of naturally.
Yeah, usually where there's bad luck, there's good luck somewhere else. Just gotta look hard
Yep.
enough.
Yeah. So
Hey, fat boy.
Dracula is on a port unless he chose to go to Belgrade, which I don't know.
He went 56, 50, and then, right, he couldn't have gone to Sarajevo because Mina was
Since
there, so it's 6, 46, or 55. I mean, why wouldn't he go 46, 55, right?
yeah, but those are
Or maybe go
ports.
straight to 55 and then to
Yes, both are definitely possibilities.
3.
Uh,
Maybe that's what he's doing right now, is thinking, do I leave? Do I go to sea now? Do I...
that would be my guess.
Because he doesn't want to right now. Everybody's out of position. They can't deal with him. There's only 3 cards on the trail.
Yeah, I faced quite a similar conundrum back in the fall league when I was Dracula for JB Philly. You'll doubtless remember that one.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave by sea
Yeah, not yet. Uh, okay, starting the layer cycling.
yet. I don't want to say one of the worst layers in the game, but it's got to be up there. One of the worst layers in the game. It's not a place the hunters ever really need to go to.
I mean, it can definitely stall them a little. If Constanta is the last spot, if you leave from Constanta and they're trying to get back east, it can. If it, in the event Belgrade is also a lair, it definitely can end up that way.
I mean,
So let's see if this.
you got to work with
Not
what you got as
ambushing.
Dracula, obviously.
Interesting. So either this is another aristocratic, or in my opinion,
he's
it's
baiting
not,
him into a night fight. I think that's what
that's
he's doing.
that's true. I I am definitely not ruling that out, but I what Golong should do here is not search it by night, but but supply to basically wait make sure to supply a little first.
He's
Wouldn't
used
be
the stake.
yeah,
And
wouldn't it be
depending on the others, they may have used their stakes. It depends. Yeah, but he needs to take his time. What he can do is don't do anything tonight, and then tomorrow he can supply. Unless they still have Mystic Research
I would
supplies going.
no that got shoved around by
Oh,
the
right,
hoax.
by the hoax. Right, of course.
And as for do nothing, that's not right because
Well,
he can rest.
right, of course. I meant do nothing in regards to the vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I just
tomorrow he
can't
can
resist pulling your
supply,
leg
and
now and
then
then.
the very next day he could search it in the day.
Okay,
But
Van Helsing coming
that
in
would
close.
be, it would be somewhat dangerous because the card would only be one space away from maturing if he did that.
Hmm.
So that's when you maybe night supply. Now I'm not saying that you necessarily night supply. I'm just saying that if you're going to night supply, it should be with purpose. And it's times like these where you could night supply with purpose here because he needs the items. Yeah, he has enough time to handle it, but only just. Unless you throw in the night supply. But depending on
Okay,
what cards you
so
get, that could
here's
actually help
for,
Dracula.
here's some. I'd like to make a point here is to you see how folks how Mina went to Vienna, stayed there one day, is now going back into the east. What if, as I had said earlier, she had gone to Munich to supply? Okay, he's looking at his aristocratic.
It
But
is just aristocrat. Oh no, Dracula. If that had been a
but
fighter, he'd have been in such a pickle.
yeah, but imagine if Seward had moved to Sarajevo last turn a couple days ago, and Mina withdrew, and Mina withdrew to Munich. She can still supply, and start getting more events, and such for the hunters. But Seward could have dealt with Sophia yesterday.
Yeah. He had to pull her back only to send her back in.
That would have, and that would have, and Dracula definitely would have felt pressure to leave. Definitely far more pressure to leave.
Yeah,
The
Godalming and
East.
Seward is a bit scarier than Godalming and Mina.
Yeah, Godalming and Seward, when combined,
Although I don't know,
they're
she always has a knife. She's pretty scary with that knife.
yes, but I think the correct way to put it is that Godalming is the one that Godalming and Seward is the pair that have the least opportunity for you to the lowest
up.
probability for you to get things, you know?
I kid. I mean, it's funny how Mina's like the weakest hunter, but she's also frequently underestimated. Like, how often have you seen her just destroy Dracula or a vampire in a fight? I know I've seen it lots of times.
Yep, it happens.
People send her in swinging double knives, just carving up vampires.
Yeah, especially when you give Mina a lucky find so that she can discard her horse.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
a good point. If it's
basically
on
when you
Mina, then she's all the safer. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for that matter, that's just the power of lucky find in general.
Yeah.
Not that's not isolated to Mina.
Yeah, of course. Wakazik took advantage of that in our game against Pizza Wizard, where it was me and Kazik and JB Philly and Met King all against Pizza Wizard as Dracula. He moved Mina onto Dracula's space, and then he used Lucky Find to ditch his horses, and he got holy bullets and used them to kill Dracula.
Yes.
So what's he thinking? Is he just supplied? Oh no, he became undelayed with Godalming. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he's thinking about what to do with Seward here. I mean, yeah,
In his
he's
place,
worried because he doesn't want to overcommit, and then Dracula leaves.
what I would do is I would position him at Venice. Because here's the thing. Dracula knows there's an excellent weather flitting around. If you move someone to Venice and then Van Helsing trades with him, what's Dracula gonna think?
I don't know about how I feel about these moves. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because if Dracula is gonna flee, he's probably gonna go to the Turanian. Just wouldn't be ready to block him there with Van
definitely is
Helsing.
going to do so. Okay, we have a hide card in play. Question is, which one?
Oh, it's gotta be Athens.
Well, contrary to what you say, it's not always Athens.
No, it's always
But
Athens.
nonetheless, it is slightly more likely as that's just how it's just further away and yada yada. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And all those just all the
Off the
typical arguments
railroad and
and so on.
all the desirable
Yeah.
qualities that lead people to go to Athens. And the fact that you can go to 46 without going to 55, but you can't go to 3 without going to 55 first. Movement cards and fast horses and all that excluded.
Yeah.
So Dracula can put a card down in 55, and depending on where they're positioned and what cards they're holding, he can
I,
hopefully
I
depend on them
am
dealing
going
with that
to.
card first.
I'm going to guess that what Sinvalona a will be a saboteur.
What makes you say that?
Two reasons. First, the logical thing to do when it comes to Athens is since, as you said, it's hard not to step in Valona when you're going to Athens. Means that Valona is one of the best is quite possibly the best place in the game, for putting down delaying cards. But Bats, I get the feeling that he would have ambushed just to be sure. But with a saboteur, it's all the better if she's delayed during the day.
True.
Bounce, you get her delayed during the day anyway. But I think that's going to be a saboteur. So
let's see. It's either delaying or if it's damage. If it's damage, then he's probably trying to beat her up before the fighter vamp. Is what I would suspect.
And reason number two, I actually never said, was that since he placed it before the rumor token got dealt with, he would have been throwing down at lesser things.
Right. To try to burn him off the trail once the card matures.
Yeah, like on the off chance that happened.
Alright, go to sea, Dracula.
Yeah, Drac here kind of has no choice here unless here'd be a fun thing. What if he is in Salonika and it now misdirects Sophia and goes back there?
Then everybody would know exactly where he is, unless he wolf forms. I mean, if he wolf forms,
a wolf form here would be fun.
If he wolf forms, everybody would kind of know exactly where he is, almost exactly. What if he wolf formed to Athens?
Or basically, what if he wolf forms from one port to the other? whichever one he's not at now.
Right. He could do it the other way around. That's true.
Yeah, I might
That would
actually
be
consider that.
it would be high risk, but possible. I think it'd be pretty high risk.
Yeah, especially since you typically want to wolf form ashore, and therefore using the wolf form presumably just before you leave for sea is not exactly the best of ideas. I mean, sometimes you just can't help it, but this is not that sort of situation. Hmm. I too am somewhat curious.
He's thinking.
I mean, he knows that there's a dawn effect, but at the same time, Mina's showing a long night, so that accounts for that. Is it just a long night? That's that's one thing that long night does do. It can put a psychological end that it can make you be a bit complacent as Dracula. When you by doing it can make you be complacent because you
You see the
see
prompt.
oh there's yeah, you see the dawn prompt, but oh there's dawn effect. There's no renewed vigor. Oh, oops, there is.
Yeah,
That
no
has
doubt.
happened to me in the past, and
Speedy
also
Telegraph is the same thing.
yeah, and also I've actually done it to other people. In fact, I I've been the hunter and the drac in such scenarios.
He's really
Hmm.
thinking. Maybe he is in 46. Just because he's thinking so much. I feel like if he was in 3, it'd be almost guaranteed he would just leave.
Yeah. Although, if in Athens, I might actually consider doing a dark call, especially if you're sitting on a fog, like doing dark call feed, type basically the typical sort of thing you do at CAG. Try try to force them to commit into the east more, but no, going to see. I get the feeling that it's 3 with a fog.
I
Yeah,
don't
with
know.
a
If I was him, I don't think I'd have played the fog yet. They're not, I mean, the
mm,
hunters aren't exactly in tatters or anything, but they're not really in such great shape that they can just all dive bomb you. I mean, if they do play renewed vigor and sense of emergency, then maybe, but that would be it. I mean, they would have to do that.
yes.
Seward's all the way in fit. Maybe if Seward was a little closer, but with the hunters laid out the way they were, I would say go ahead and just move there and put down your damaging stuff or what have you and your vampire. And if you get Mina in a fight, you get her in a fight before you leave, and that's fine too. Then you
Okay.
have your
Will he
fog for
send?
when you land. Sometimes you
Will he?
land and they jump onto your spot, and then you can get away after that.
Yes. That there's definitely some logic to that, but unless what if he's holding both fogs?
Possible.
Zeroed supplying. Interesting. I'm not sure why, but I mean, of course, I can't see Seward's hand, but it implies that his items are not exactly the best.
Honestly, I mean, with the position he's in, I would probably continue to just supply. I mean, Dracula's in the
Well, I
Ionian
would at the
Sea.
very, and I would at the very least go as far as Milan or Genoa. Be ready to intercept, because Dracula is going to make one more sea move. It'd be just plain foolishness to land immediately.
Yeah, but then you can move to Genoa on a good ticket the next day. I mean,
I'm sure, but ideally you don't have said tickets to help the horses.
unless you have a giga brain, massive, huge galaxy-sized brain, and you're thinking, oh, I need to get to
Hmm.
Genoa tomorrow. I should get the yellow too.
Well, we'll see. seems that you and I have different opinions in this case.
Telling you, it's 58 to 25. That's a good rail.
It is. I'm not denying that.
That might be the best one in the game right there.
I. A lot of people say that it's actually Paris to Marseille that wins there. That Paris to Marseille and Paris to Bordeaux.
I mean, those
Those
are important, but they only move you one space.
one rail space, which means that you can go even
Right.
further. 2 roads each.
I mean, yeah, they're good. They're good. There's no
They're at least
doubt.
just as good.
But 58 to 25 moves you 3 spaces.
Okay, so
When you
it's a
think about it
desecrated
that
soil.
way, it moves you 3 roads.
Okay, Mina has a heavenly host. Now the question is, does she have any sort of weapon? Now, with them having gone through the entire deck, I will be rather stunned if she does not have a knife as her third item. Bodyguards. Okay, so ow, but not the biggest deal, especially since you're not going to be jumping into a fight with Drac.
Yeah, Drax in the sea.
Yeah.
Not the worst time to hit
Goldamin
bodyguards.
revealing a knife. Interesting. So that implies that that's his only weapon. That implies that he has the exact same hand. That both Mina and Goldamin have horse
The
heavenly
old,
host,
yeah,
horse heavenly host knife thing.
classic.
I personally, I honestly, prefer having a rifle to a heavenly host. At least, some of the time. It obviously there are circumstances that lead me to decide both ways, but
Yeah. Heavenly Host can't clear up desecrated soil, which is pretty big.
yes, but by that same token, rifle can clear air out thing clear out a saboteur.
Which could potentially make a big difference, right? But that's a little more situational than 3 healing, which is like almost definitely going to make a difference for Dracula.
Yes.
Plus, I mean, Dracula has to put the Saboteur down, right? And it may or may not gain him some value. But if he puts down the desecrated soil, it's pretty. As long as the vampire doesn't clear it off the trail, after that, it's going to gain him some value, unless you clear it up yourself, right?
Yep.
It's like guaranteed healing, unless you do something about it with Heavenly Host.
Yeah. Now here's the interesting part. We don't know which of those ports this is. At least not for sure. And I would say that Goldamin's gonna just step into Salonica.
Yeah, I mean, it makes good sense. Just check 46, deal with it.
And
If he's not there, you can excellent weather to 3.
well, I seriously doubt that you'll do that.
I know. But just once, I would like to see Dracula land in Athens, and then, he has his fog down in 55, and he's so happy, and then somebody goes to 46 and excellent weather's onto him. That'd be so great. I'm a big fan of, if your hunter's in the sea, right? Let's say your hunter's in the Mediterranean, and Renewed Vigor hits, you can move on to 13, and then you can play Excellent Weather to move to, say, 45, right?
Yes.
It's just interesting. Like, normally when your hunter is at sea, you don't want to use Renewed Vigor, but
Okay,
it's
so it was
interesting to do little
Salonica.
tricks like that. It was, after all, and he horsed right over it. Oh, gracious. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry I told you it was Athens.
Like I said, it's not always Athens. Still supplying, even though Dracula could be wolf forming ashore from the Turinian to Marseille. I don't like that.
Hmm. So he's probably in the Turinian.
Yeah, unless he wants to be. I mean, he will almost certainly not have chosen Adriatic because having come down Valona, Salonika,
Oh,
I
Adriatic would be terrible
yeah,
for
and
him
with
right now.
Van
Unless
Helsing
the
and with
only
Van
the only good thing you could do from there would be
like Wolfram to
probably
Naples,
you
Rome.
could wolf form to Florence even. But
Yeah,
that'd be
right.
really dangerous. Yeah, maybe wolf form to Naples. Yeah, I like that better. And then you could think about going to Rome or going to the Tyrrhenian at that point. But yeah, the thing about the Tyrrhenian is there's really no good place to escape. I mean, it's the furthest away from where he's leaving. But I mean, if you wolf form to Marseille, if you go to
What?
36, that's just so obvious. Huh? I don't know about that move.
I guess he's a bit confused by the high card? Question mark. Uh, what are you doing?
Maybe he wanted to move Mina. What? No, because he would have used his horses, right? If he was trying to go anywhere.
Yeah, this is a bit odd.
Maybe he was confused by the hide card.
I mean, Harker's still there, so he will get the information eventually.
Hopefully he's figured it out now. You would hate to see him send Seward or Van Helsing rushing into to 49 or something like that. Like, no, surely he understands.
Godalming will end up horsing there before they do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hopefully he checks 46 and not 49.
I mean, the thing is, for him to check Athens, like, the high card has to be on his mind. But
That's true.
as a little. But I
Maybe
suppose
he's got her.
Salonica is a
Maybe he
bit
was putting her on the train track.
possibly. Yeah, chartered carriage. Have Godalming deal with it.
Okay, so
Oh.
Dracula's in
Hmm.
13 or
No wolf
25
found.
at the furthest.
Well, yeah, this is why I would have moved Seward down towards to Milan at the very least. I
Yeah, or you use the right train ticket if you've got it.
yeah, this is definitely yeah. And if that's CAG, I'm sure. Don't bother with wolf form, but it's nice to be able to at least do a bluff.
Yeah, without the wolf form, his locations are so very limited. And depending on how these encounter cards fall out, you could even do a psychic bond and eliminate 17 and 56,
Yeah,
which is what you want to do.
which yeah, and then Seward and Van Helsing.
And with Valona still on the trail, at
Yeah,
that
you know,
point you're gonna know for sure that he's in Italy somewhere. Okay, so we've
okay,
got this
good. He
part
figured
figured
it
out.
out.
Yeah.
So question is, what is it? Okay, in this case, it was a saboteur. Oh. We appear to have a forewarned going on.
He can become delayed though. That's fine. He can still deal with the card
Yes.
tomorrow. And it doesn't seem like
Yeah.
it's a fighter vamp.
Well, in this case, considering that he uses stake up at Constanta, I'm not sure whether or not I would ambush anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, surely you'd want to hurt him a little, right? I mean, if it was a new vamp, well, I mean, even if it was a reckless, I might ambush. Get the point out of it. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the night fight is better.
I mean, he's at 7 HP from all the damaging encounters he's been through.
Yeah. If you were gonna
So,
ambush, maybe you'd put like a wolves or something down instead of a saboteur.
yeah. I mind you, he put that high card down mostly just to stick around a bit longer, put more pressure on the
Yeah,
hunters.
yeah, that was his real goal. The the the
Yeah,
saboteur is
so
just a trash card with no good mature effect.
so I would not be surprised if Salonica is nothing but. In truth, I wouldn't be surprised if it's nothing but a. Oh, I would have made that one be Van Helsing's priority.
Yeah, you want to
Uh,
check the furthest extremities first, and that's 25 and 13. If he's in 57, that's fine because that's actually way closer. That's within the net of your hunters, right? So you want to check
yeah,
the bad possibilities first, and then afterwards you could say, "Oh, he's not here. Great. That means he must have been in Venice or Bari." And then you can handle it from there.
yeah, but so things we have learned this turn, we know Dracula will, and Altaris being quite an excellent Dracula, will likely know that now that Gul'dam is carrying around a forewarned,
Yeah.
and therefore will be a bit cautious with his fogs. Uh,
What
but
if he wolf form? If he's in Genoa, he could wolf form, and there'd be quite
I
a few spaces he could go to,
hmm,
but none of them would really be super great, and also he'd be giving up the game as far as where am I? Am I on 13 or am I on 25 or am I in 5?
which is why I might consider since the forewarned he has learned the forewarned, I might just feed it even if you are in Genoa.
Or yeah, he can't hide.
Yeah,
So
because you can't
he can't hide and
hide.
put down a fog, but if he already put down a fog,
Yeah,
then he could feed on top of it. Yeah. And I mean, you got to
that's
be careful though. You could find yourself if there's a forewarned, you could find yourself
alternatively,
in a
if you
dangerous
have not
situation.
put down a fog yet, then uh okay. I mean, yeah, I get the idea.
Yeah, but you could have eliminated both of those with a single psychic bond. All she had to do was move to Salonika as well. Or
The problem with that is that he'd simply ambush with the saboteur and make her unable to by delaying her.
oh, you're right about that. I forgot.
So,
So in that case, I mean, you
so in
could
that case,
wait until Godon.
I partially agree with what he's up with what he's doing
Yeah, I do at least
as a
understand.
result.
Right.
Yeah. Uh,
So
as
would it
for
have
what
been more
Dracula should
efficient
do,
to have her supply instead, and then Godalming could move on to her?
yeah, if he had done things efficiently, it would be Seward who is over in the east, and Nina would be over with Van Helsing, able to scan Italy, and tell
Wow,
us.
you're right. Yeah, if their positions were swapped right now, that'd be huge.
Yep, that would be quite enormous.
Which is something to
Hmm.
consider when you think about like what Dracula's plans are, where is he, and then where is he gonna go after that? Because you
Yeah.
can kind of look ahead and think, oh, he's
If
gonna have to go this way.
If Dracula has not yet put down a fog, I would go to Marseille and lay down the fog.
Yeah,
You know that one forewarned is sitting on Gul'daming, and there's been no attempt to extract it. So and then you wolf form.
Yeah, you want to try to keep the fog far away from whoever has the forewarned, if you can figure out who has it. And as Van Helsing, you need to juggle. You need to give somebody the forewarned when they're nearing Dracula, and then, oh, Dracula packed up and moved 2 C zones away from you. Well, give me that forewarned back, and now I can give it to Dr. Seward, right? You gotta be juggling it around, depending on who's in the hot seat,
Yeah.
which is part of the fun mini game around forewarned, in my opinion. I like that element of it. Sure, certainly you have to do that with all the event cards, make sure they're in the right hands. But when it comes to forewarned, you kind of have to play like a hot cold game where it's like, oh, you're getting warmer to Dracula, you need to be the one holding this card, and now Dracula's getting away and you're colder, I need to take it back away from you.
Wolf form. Okay, so he was not a Cagliari.
Oh no, he definitely landed in Genoa.
Unless. Unless.
And
Hmm,
hear me out. He went to 5 so he could wolf form to 20 or something crazy like that. He couldn't wolf form hide.
I
There's
think
nothing
that
like
he
that going
is.
on.
I think that he
It
is.
went to 17 and now he wolf formed to 28 because he's trying to dodge the psychic bond.
That's actually entirely possible.
I think it's plausible, yeah. I mean, you can't just
Yeah.
eliminate
Whoa.
these.
Oh.
That's huge.
Yeah, I had the option to take that very card in my last match against Wormtown, but I actually refused it in favor of a devilish power.
But
I
if he is in the East, right? If he did land in 17 and he just wolf formed, I mean, what's his plan?
oh
Oh
no.
my goodness, no! That Saboteur did end up saving the hoax. Good Saboteur, good unearthly swiftness. Yeah, well played to Dracula. Now he's gonna get a new card to replenish his hand.
Okay, so yeah, Mia should definitely check out. And now
And
we may end
I
up.
think he just put unearthly swiftness back in his hand. That's what I would have done.
Well, yeah, and as a matter of fact, that was
The
the
game
only
is
Dracovac event that they had put back in the Discord
right.
since.
That makes sense. Also, the game's actually showing me. I don't know if that's intentional on the game's part or not, but yeah, it's revealed in his
Yes, it.
hand.
Yeah, so he has that unlimited swiftness just for if
Yeah, well
he gets too
played,
close.
Altaris. I think I managed that same trick myself one time. Only I think it was Emmanuel Hildeshim or something. I forget exactly.
Uh,
It might have played out a little differently
you
than
might be
that.
thinking of Strider's game where he was hunters.
Oh, I was thinking of a game that I played.
Well, the thing is, Strider managed to get triple Emmanuel Hildeshim on Altaris.
Nice. Yeah, I think it was. I think Emmanuel Hildeshim, I think, shuffles itself back into the deck too. Is a big part of it. So I don't know if he could have actually done the same play if it had been Emmanuel.
Okay, just all
Yeah,
right.
Genoa,
So
of
now,
course, of course.
yeah, but it also makes sense to do unearthly swiftness anyway because generally you're all that much closer to people who are close
Oh yeah,
together.
no, it was a great unearthly swiftness. Not only did he
Yeah.
force the mature, but also he got out of a tight spot when he was close to 2 hunters. So that's huge
Yeah.
value out of that. And he got to get it right back to his hand with the hoax mature. So yeah, that couldn't have been better executed.
Yeah.
He's in a tight spot, Donojack, but it's not over yet. He's still got a week, more than a week, to catch him. You just got to kind of get your ducks in a row as far as getting people into position. you can start clearing up these encounters
Good
relatively
check.
quickly, hopefully. Yeah, I
I'd say
mean,
that was a good check.
that's a good check. Make sure he didn't just go straight to 41. Yeah, that makes good sense.
Here's the interesting thing. That Wolfworm's location could be Munich.
Oh, Drat, you're right. Now you got to get Godalming there ASAP.
Either him or Mina. I think that's due to what he did with the Godalming. I think he is intending to excellent weather up.
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
6.
that should have been Sarajevo. That's actually a little bit closer to.
Yeah, you get to Munich faster that way. I don't. I mean, it's possible he went to Munich, but I don't think he did. I bet he went like
I mean,
towards the French coast. I bet he went straight to 8, and then you went to 39 with his second Dracula move that he got.
he couldn't get all the way to 8. That's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. He went to 54, and then he went to 8.
Well, considering Ledfin and Helsing, that he may well forget that Munich is an option since Stewart only just left there.
Yeah, I know. That's the truth. I'm glad you brought it up.
I would definitely be tempted to do it.
Yeah, I probably would
Okay,
have
a
forgotten
mob.
about it. Yeah, sneaky
He could be
little
in
road
Vienna,
there.
making his way back east, ready to do practically the same thing.
Yeah, he'd be in such danger, though, while he does it.
He has an unearthly swiftness for... Oh, Stewart actually chose to discard the stake that he showed in order to take a little bit less damage. I disagree with that simply because when it comes to 5 versus 6, it doesn't matter. HP wise, barring yet another mob, which both mobs have been played. Basically, if it doesn't take you to a new multiple of 2, then it won't exactly help.
Right.
Because it's the same number of hits from a vampire fight to take Seward down. So that was a mistake, in my opinion.
Thanks, Jonathan Harker. Guys, he was in the Ionian Sea. I'm really curious now to see if he did go to Munich.
Well, then Helen still needs to decide what to do, at least from my perspective.
Stop it.
Just to make sure, as there was a slight connection issue there for a moment. Our Drac has not yet moved?
No, Godalming is moving. He's thinking.
Godalming? During the day?
Yes.
Me? Okay, so yeah. In that case, something's going on a bit on my side here. Going to have to drop out of...
Godalming just moved as a grab. Seward is horsing. Okay, which way did Dracula go? Seward. Could he even gone out into Italy? I mean, no, with
Yeah, yeah.
Turanian on the trail, it'd be pretty dangerous, but he could have still done it.
Yes.
It
Although,
wasn't Rome.
I.
I would have saved
Yeah.
checking that for last, though, because if he did go down into Italy, he's still within the net of hunters. He didn't actually succeed in like getting further away if he did that, right? Whereas
Yeah.
if he went towards
You're,
France or up north into Germany, then he's getting away.
you're coming through a bit robotic and a little cutty, but man. Oh, bad horse roll.
Well, I am robot. If you'd given me one of those tests, like asked me to figure out how many pictures contain buses, then I'd have failed. You'd know.
Oh, he has. Looks as if they have a surprising return. Either that or in newspaper reports, and several of them.
What makes you say that? Oh, the dusk prompt.
Dusk prompts. Those two events are the only things that trigger at dusk. There are plenty
Where
of
are
things
the
that
new
trigger at dawn.
vampires? You seen a
Probably,
reckless? Show me the. Come on, I
probably,
want a good fight.
probably under the cards right there because there's now only. Either that's or Dracula's thing.
They must be.
I mean it.
I mean, if I was Dracula, I'd be putting them down now so that the hunters who are chasing after me have something to deal with. They have a headache.
Yeah,
It might deal them some damage. They might have to stop and make decisions about whether or not to kill them. They might make mistakes along the way there.
yeah,
I'd be
and
I'd be putting down vamp after vamp now if I could. Especially with my
yeah,
rumor tokens gone. Although he may have another one by now. But you can
yeah.
rumor one of them.
He'll have his third one now.
Yeah, you rumor one of them
He,
and you leave the others and just say the heck with it.
I'm.
See, now we're gonna have the feed, I bet. Because he's on the French coast. He's in 39.
So, at least so we assume.
That's what I think. I think a feed here would really indicate that.
I honestly think that either going back east or going back north is. I'm I'm actually going to make that my prediction. Perhaps not necessarily via precisely Munich, but
This is when you really need psychic bond. You
yeah,
want to have it as soon as Dracula lands, and if you don't have it then like
yeah.
immediately
Altaris
afterwards.
Donojack would have been in a far better position had he sent Seward and when Mia staked the first vampire and when he had her withdraw to refill, he should have sent Seward into the east and then had Mia just hold back. I think that is what's really coming back to really bite him in this case because she would have been available for a psychic scan and he would have known it was in Italy.
I think that's another advantage to the superhero start, because if you start with Mina and say 8, right, then if Dracula does start in the east, everybody, the Seward and Godalming can deal with it and harry him and pressure him out of the east. And then when he goes to
Okay.
land, Mina can intercept with Psychic Bond. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know about that move.
if you're going to move back east, at least make it Bucharest, yeah? I mean, at least make it Budapest or Vienna.
He's getting
That's
into
good enough.
manual search mode. He's trying to just check them all.
Yeah, I just don't get that one. I
So typically Dracula, when he's a sea, right? He'll wolf form when he lands, and then you have to go. Oh, there's all these possible places he could be now. This Dracula, he landed normally, and then he wolf formed right afterwards. So
yeah,
now there's all these
without the
possible
unearthly
locations.
swiftness
So he's
to make it.
essentially done like a similar trick with while trying to get a little more land movement out of it.
Yeah.
He was fortunate he wasn't caught in
Okay. Go to
25.
Munich.
Yes, check Munich, please. He did not go
No,
there. Okay.
not Munich.
So there's
Still could be.
still the possibility of like he went to 24 and then 51.
Mm, yeah.
Tss, tss, tss.
Yeah, I just don't understand at all why he went with 53
I
in
don't get
physical
that
anomaly.
either. The guy he was in Genoa and then he wolf formed. He couldn't be as far as 53. Um, I guess in theory, right, he could have.
And yeah.
But
And with
I mean,
Klausenberg still being a layer, that does rule out him going there. So I
he
think
could just
that's.
as easily be in 11 with a hide, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I think that
kind
his
of
reasoning
crazy way
was
to.
if he has come back east, he'll be at Sajed, not taking the high card into account. I.
Yeah,
This is definitely rough for the hunters because Drax sitting pretty at 11 HP and has established a good amount of distance.
oh yeah.
Uh,
The ball's in
and
Dracula's
and what's
court.
what's more, he could easily just feed and go back up to 14,
Yep.
and oh, remember token. Uh, and all the while, we're now Thursday week 3, so the hunters
Yeah.
are definitely running out of time. The one good piece of news is so far Drac has no influence. Oh, that actually coming in handy. It was indeed Toulouse, so
Do
he
it.
called that. Whether or not he went to 8, I think that he went down to Spain with how much he's been moving around. So I don't so I think that she'll be proven partially wrong in the end.
Sure, but I mean, he could have just as easily slinked up towards 2.
Could have, yes, but we'll see.
But I mean, Spain is also possible.
All
I,
right,
I think
Goldani, get out of there.
Dracula's like to make like they're gonna go to Spain and then not do it. I know that's what I like to do certainly. It's you're in 36 or something like that and you wolf form, but you don't actually go to Spain. You just make it look like you're going to Spain. Things like that.
Yeah.
Because who wants to
So
go to Spain? Nobody. It stinks as Dracula when you're in Spain and you got nowhere to go.
yeah,
It's like the worst.
the hunters. Yeah, the hunters are definitely running low on time. They have today.
Yeah.
They have this day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have four. Counting to this day, they have only 4 more days before Dracula starts scoring points. I, not to mention that there's a monster trail to deal with.
Yeah.
I,
It's not over yet, but it's
yeah, because
looking pretty bad. Gotta
yeah,
kick it into
it's not looking
overdrive
good.
here. I've won worse looking games than this,
Yeah. I would have just
but
tried to figure out where it would next. Well, I suppose Van Helsing is the one that doesn't have a horse. So, I suppose I can understand that to a degree.
clear up a space on the trail if you can.
Yeah, Mia's obviously gonna horse. Or, I just might have considered a supply for the events. Try to find another scouts, something. Yeah, I approve of that check.
Yeah, it's not a bad check. Unless you
Prize in
find
return.
Dracula there.
Well, there is this. If he had, he would have. Dracula would have had this to contend with.
Is this a surprising return?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just using it as the search. Cadiz.
You gotta no, you gotta figure out where he went next before you go
Yeah,
that far.
that's. Yeah, that would be guessing almost where he is now.
Right. What if he went 54, 48,
And Spain is
34,
and Spain
126?
is and Spain is similar to the center of the board where practically through Madrid everything is connected to everything. So you can do it in once you can do it in practically any order. The only question is when did you go to Madrid?
Oh, Unite
Oh,
supplied for
here.
vampiric influence.
There goes Mia's horse. I expect a rifle, not a knife. Interesting. I expect that was yeah, with that wing for right now, that's the horse that's waiting for Donojack to choose a new thing to show. Face up. Oh wait, no? Okay. I suppose waiting for Altaris to decide where he went. Whoops.
She discarded the heavenly host.
Interesting choice. I would have gone with the horse because
He doesn't want to get CG'd.
yeah. I mean there are arguments for both, but taking away that mobility at this time, I that's not fun.
Yeah, agreed.
Whoa.
No weapon, but he's an old man.
Uh, okay. Well now.
That's interesting. So what is he holding then?
I
Heavenly toast and garlic wreath? Is he making
well,
is he making breakfast?
I did happen to hear that extra tea. Yes.
Why doesn't he have a gun? That's unfortunate. Maybe he's got a crucifix on him. And a heavenly host. And a stake. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I expected Van Helsing to have a weapon. Probably two because he doesn't have a horse.
Yeah,
I
those wolves do not care
but
about your crucifix. Or your heavenly host or your stake.
huh.
I mean, the stake should be useful against the wolf, though. You know, you could throw it like stick and be like, "Go fetch, boy."
Well, except that they do make sure to make it be plural, and therefore only one
Yeah,
of them
you'd have to have a
being
whole
able to
bunch of
play.
stakes to distract the whole pack. You're right.
Yeah. What are you doing? And I can understand to an extent, but if he wasn't at Strasbourg, what are the chances of him being at Frankfurt?
Hmm. Yeah, you want to be in like Paris supplying or something like that.
I mean, in all fairness, Lorgaldon couldn't have reached that far.
Right.
Oh.
No, nothing in Paris. Another strategy you can employ is like typically you want to clear up the whole trail, right? And get it nice and cleared before you go after Dracula so that you don't have things to worry about. But sometimes if you can just have one or two hunters like barely keep the mature cards at bay, like that can be enough to buy you time, right? While the others
Yes,
supply and potentially get the
but
CG,
it's very
right?
risky to be sure.
Oh, for sure. But like, let's say Seward and Van Helsing deal with the encounters, or even if you're feeling really bold, maybe just Van Helsing, and then
Ooh.
everybody else starts supplying, and you get the CG and the hired scouts or the surprising return, and all of a sudden Dracula's dead, right? Um, that's
Yes,
just
but
like you're trying to barely
let's
keep the fire at bay.
let's keep in mind that Drac has an
This late in
unearthly
the game,
swiftness
that's
at his disposal.
might be all you can do. Oh yeah, with unearthly swiftness, if he matures this vampire, it's GG.
Yeah, because the thing is, uh, let's see, Saturday, Sunday. So actually, and the thing is, he would win kind of all at once because he'll be starting the process of getting points just as that matures.
Right.
That's a 7 point vampire. But then again, which actually there's actually decent chances that's a new vampire.
Decent chance, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say more than a 50% chance that that's a
So if you put that,
new
if you get
vampire.
6 for the new vampire, and then you land and go up to 9, and then you play unearthly swiftness, you'll go up to 12.
Yeah, not quite enough. But if it is a 7 point vampire, then you're out of luck. Okay, Harker. It was Saragossa.
Spain after all. Yeah.
Yep, it was directly into Spain.
The old
Yeah.
Spanish slingshot.
Hmm.
So what do you do now? Do you renewed vigor and rush everybody in and hope you land on Dracula? I mean, I bet he's in 1, right? That's what I would do if I was Dracula. I'd try to make it so that I was in 1, and then I could leave and go to the Mediterranean.
Well, considering how the Cadiz search happened, I think that Alicante happened after Saragossa, and then he went back up to Madrid, and then is looped up Santander, Lisbon, and is in Cadiz now. That would be my guess. Speed
Hmm.
telegraph. Interesting. This could definitely prove. Oh, surprising return. Hmm. Using that as another search, presumably. Oh, he
Oh,
simply hasn't been there. Okay. Well, I was in that case partially correct on the fact sense that
now
it's
I
not
bet
been.
he is in Cadiz.
Yeah. Yeah. Just look at the hunters just being completely out of position.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You have to plan for like the extremities, right? So when Dracula will form from 25, your first thing you need to worry about is getting to Toulouse and making sure you didn't go into Spain. And then, like you said,
Yeah.
checking Munich was the other one.
Yeah, and the people coming out of the east can deal with that easily enough. He has not been to Bordeaux. I like that check.
Yeah, that's a big part of the skill is the Dracula was inside of the hunter's net, but the lead elements of the net fell behind and Dracula slipped out. If you can, like, it's like you said, the people who were in the east who were coming up, they could have encircled if he was in fact at Munich or did go to 53 or something like that. Uh, it's all about efficiency.
Yeah, I think that's really the most deciding mistake Donojack made uh, was when it was towards the beginning when he sent Mina back east after she went back to resupply instead of sending Seward. I think that has turned out to be the like, oh
Another vampire right before the rumor token.
yeah.
Oh, he's doing good with those. I mean,
Uh,
I guess if he wanted to, he could always layered it anyway.
yes. Although considering the fact that I this makes it even more likely that the next one is a new vampire. Because we have seen 0 of those so far. Uh, and Dracula has cycled his deck.
Yeah.
I expect that the next location we know is as Santander or Madrid. I expect Madrid. So I would have Seward go there. And then try to 2v1 the new vampire. If he, I mean, whether he ambushes with it or not, him being able to cut off 2 days worth of time is massive at this stage.
It's Dracula. I'd be fine with going to sea again here.
I would not rule that out. He's left sufficient trail.
Go to Ireland. Go to 18. We'll form to 18. They can't CG you. But then I guess they could if they catch you in the Irish Sea. They didn't play Money Trail earlier when he went to sea. So maybe they don't have Money Trail. So maybe you can muck about with like English Channel, Irish Sea, North Sea, that whole area. A little
Yeah.
bit of sea obfuscation. Pull off a wolf form.
That, I think, is most likely. How about Alicante was never visited.
Maybe he's there now.
After Santander.
It could be
Uh,
47, 34, 31, 12, 26, 1.
Possibly.
Unearthly swiftness.
No.
Alright, so
I think I get it. It's Santander, Madrid, Lisbon, Cadiz, Hyde, and now he's speeding through Granada, which is of course a CG nuke spot.
yeah, go to Granada, play Unearthly Swiftness, get to 1. Mature
Yeah.
your vampire. I mean, I like all that, except that... Oh no, he's
Oh,
feeding. I bet
it
he
wasn't
is in
Madrid
1.
as I thought.
There's no hide.
Since Madrid was first.
You had it all correct except for the hide. He's in
Yeah.
1 now. Probably on top of fog.
Yeah. Now with the trail cleared up, he's simply gonna.
But there's still a chance. Oh, well, there's no renewed vigor or anything going off. If he had it, I mean, there was totally a chance. Sense of emergency, Godalming onto 48, and then move him onto
Yeah.
1. And then
At
you get
this
Van
point,
Helsing
don't
and
pay any
Seward
attention
there.
to the trail. At this point, you don't pay
Yeah,
any attention to the trail.
I mean that was actually a really bold move on Dracula's part because it's kind of telegraphed where he is, I think. They could always have missed something, but I think he's in 1. And if they
We know he's
recognized,
in 1.
I mean, they could have pulled the trigger on that and just,
Yeah, but here's the thing: we know he's in 1.
yeah, but does Donojack?
True.
But I mean, it doesn't matter now because we didn't see any big combo, which I mean that's calculated by Dracula possibly. He might be thinking, well, I had 2 hoaxes go
Whoops.
off. They're undersupplied. They they didn't. He's planning on them not having access to the big combo cards. Hopefully.
I. Hmm.
I mean, there's 53 events left in the deck.
Yeah, so that's not all that
Now, a lot
unreasonable
of
an
those were
assumption.
Dracula cards that got reshuffled back in. Because the second hoax didn't shuffle any cards back in. I don't think.
If it did, there were barely
It could only been a
any.
few, yeah.
So he's at Alicante, and Granada is still on the trail. Santander, Cadiz, and Lisbon were the things that got wiped off.
I mean, a chartered carriage could have even brought Seward from 8 to 1. Like, there's so many possibilities for getting onto Dracula there in a potential 2-on-1 or even a 3-on-1.
Yes, but on the other hand, Van Helsing didn't show weapons to the wolves.
Yeah, but if he shows up to the fight in a garlic wreath with a heavenly host and a crucifix,
Well,
he's
except that
still a
he's down, and
threat.
what?
Even if
Whoa.
Dracula decides to go for him, he's not
Okay,
in
this
one.
is
Okay, we did miss something here. I would have wasted all my event cards if it was me.
Well, let me see. Santander was revealed to be the next thing after Madrid. So,
No, it was after 48, I thought.
no.
No, it was
Wait,
after. Okay.
wait.
So it's,
Yes,
yeah, it
that
was
was
48, 47. Then he probably went 34, 31. No,
but
34, 26, 12, 31. Or 12 with a hide.
yeah. It's what Alicante was after Madrid, which is he was at Madrid when he checked Alicante. Maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, it has me a little bit
he
surprised.
he he kind of
There.
gave us the slip there too. Even the commentators are scratching their heads. Yeah, he pulled one off. Pulled one over on us. I like it. Nicely played.
And yet, it is a port, so
But now he's got Fury of Dracula kicking in on. He's at sea.
yeah. And it was indeed a seven pointer instead of a 6 pointer.
Oh, it was a reckless?
Higher than an aristocratic that you unearthly swiftness to maturity. So he only needs to make 2 moves. I mean, if there's no hide card,
It was 31 with hide. Wow.
okay.
Bold. Bold. Right on the rail line like that. But he
Well,
also dodged the surprising return by using 31 instead of 12. Most Draculas would have gone straight to 12, right? Because it's kind of one of the better spots. It's off the track. The train track,
well.
that is.
Hmm. So honestly, what would you do? Where would you go to land and get your victory if you're Drac?
Ooh, I
You
would
don't have access to
probably
hide.
I would probably go North Atlantic, Irish Sea, and wolf form to 33.
I would do the same thing except do English Channel Wolfhorn to 52
Yeah.
because you know that Mina's gone excellent weather. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, you're right. 52 is a little tougher for them to get to than 33 is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a better move, you're right.
Yeah. At this point, Drac is guaranteed to be able to get at least 10 points. At least, well, 10 in total.
I
of
mean,
course.
the only thing that could happen is if he were to go to say, I don't know. You're right. It's practically guaranteed. If he did something,
The only
feel like when
circumstance in which he doesn't is the North Atlantic English Channel, North Sea, and then they CG
right,
all the
and then they
ports.
money trail him and CG him, and he's already been to all the adjacent sea zones, right? But that would be a
Yeah,
little risky for Dracula
or
to
if
be playing that
he
many
chose to go,
sea cards.
or if he chose to go all the way to all the way to the Black Sea, lol.
Oh man, they couldn't get him into a fight. It's unfortunate. I don't think there
Yeah,
was a single fight.
no serious ones, no. Uh,
Was there even any?
there,
Was there combat cards
there,
played at all?
uh, actually no. The one
No.
ambush there was
It was
escape routed.
Mina escaped. Yeah, with escape route. So I don't.
Yeah,
There hasn't been a fight.
yeah. This has been remarkably tame in that sense.
Yeah, it's all just been the deduction aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah, you better supply. Maybe you'll find money trail and kill him.
Counts.
Oh, that's
that
unfortunate.
that would have been wonderful, just wonderful earlier.
Or maybe even a little bit later. Oh, were you the whole game?
Rufus. Well, this might be make him able to uh, at least make it so that he gets a little less IDS.
Take a damage.
Because, and this might make Altaris make a slight mistake that allows them to engage him in combat, or make him
Yeah, I
land.
mean, those excellent weather, or the excellent weather we saw still wasn't played, right? So maybe if
Yeah,
that's kicking
that's still
around
there.
and a renewed
That's
vigor
still on.
shows up, I mean, he could
It's,
still drag Dracula into a fight, potentially. It could happen. There could even be a
or if,
vampire lair.
or if nothing else, he'll simply take a bit of extra damage from the sea, making it so that he gets Donojack when he is Dracula has a slightly less a slightly shorter order as to it being able to choose to be Dracula in game 3, on the assumption that that does happen. Oh, uh-oh. Well, but Seward has 3 weapons, so he's well armed.
About time. Little action here. Night fight too. This should be interesting.
Yeah. Mesmerize. Garlic. Alright, I definitely don't approve garlic because since this is a night fight and not an ambush, the vampire's not going to jump straight into the fangs.
It might have tried to claw or play strength though.
Yes, garlic is just a good defensive card, but if you're really going to invest in dealing with this with dealing with this, you should be playing offensive stuff along the lines of knife and such. Punch,
Just
maybe, to play
get
around
in
this
your
mesmerize.
fucking door. Yeah. Yeah, plus maybe you shouldn't be showing him right off the bat that you've got the garlic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough to say. Yeah, I mean, he's got it. You might as well use it. So, I mean, it can escape in round 4. So I probably would have tried to save garlic for maybe round 2 or 3. Maybe 3. Feel him out, see what he plays first, kind of thing. Oh
Oh, yeah.
no. It's like you
So I
said, you
think that's
gotta
where it's
play
gonna get
offense to
bitten.
kill this thing.
I think that's where it's gonna end up getting bitten at this point. And well, that might give Dracula a clue as to whether or not they have great strength. Because there's been nothing to prompt that, as this is literally the first actual combat we've had. entire game.
Yeah. He does have 5 other combat cards, so 6 total.
Yeah, he has 2 things that we are unaware of. And if you have a knife, which I think it likely that he does, since Mia didn't. In fact, it's almost guaranteed because there was never a knife discarded. Van Helsing didn't show a weapon,
Yeah.
so it's practically guaranteed that
And
he has
he's
a
gonna
knife.
lose it now? No,
Nope.
nice garlic.
Yeah, that this time I approve of that play.
When it gets the right card, then it's good. Problem is,
Well,
it's already round 4, and the thing's probably gonna try to escape, or think about it at least.
well, yes, but in this case, I'm saying more because you've been plotted on. That's basically
Oh,
your
yeah, yeah. Garlic is the best thing to have at your side when Dracula hits you with the plotting.
yeah because at least so long as you have enough to survive a clause.
Yeah,
Because then you may have to play a guessing game between play firearm versus play garlic.
right. But even then, at least you have something.
Yeah. Garlic is definitely a very excellent card to have defensively. I if you but most of the time when you're a hunter, you want to be offensive.
There's the
Yep,
knife.
there it is. Altaris makes the
Well,
mistake.
well deduced. You paid good attention to the card pool.
I mean, it's easier when you're not one of the
Yeah, yeah.
players.
When you don't have to figure
But
everything
mind
else out.
you, I have I have been complimented in the past for being just having excellent memory and keeping being able to being something of a card counter
Nice.
in certain games. So
Well, you only hit him for 2, so because he's mesmerized.
yeah.
But if you can land another one, that doesn't matter.
So yeah, basically yeah, why the garlic is so good is it makes it so that that plotting almost doesn't matter at all.
Nice garlic, chief.
Yeah, because garlic is almost just as good as dodge in avoiding damage, and sometimes will end up being able to
Yeah.
do
And
the damage to the
in the
enemy.
case of plotting, it might be even better than your dodge because it can't be shut down by plotting at least.
Yeah,
Which and that would all be great if this was week 2 and Seward needed to protect himself. Like this
yeah.
vampire needs
Or
to die. He needs to die.
oh, interesting. Thought you would do claws to play around the knife.
Right.
I like that. Mind games.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be it.
Whoa.
Not the hide card. Or is this one the real card?
This one is the hide.
Right. Good luck. I mean, I guess at least he's not gonna be
I mean, he didn't
defeated.
take it. He didn't take the
Yeah,
slight scratch.
yeah. The
So
garlic helped in that regard. He's not gonna get beat up on by 2 vampires.
yeah, Donojack is already kind of just feeling that despair. Uh, he just
There's
said
a reason. There's a reason they call
insane.
them despair tokens.
Yeah, in, insane juggling delaying the inevitable. He says. Oh, this time he does
Telling
do
you,
a punch first.
there's
Good.
still a chance. You're in dire straits, but you never know.
Yeah.
We have seen some crazy, unexpected victories before. I know I have.
You think I haven't?
Any game I've ever won, for example.
I mean, yeah.
Nah, but seriously though, I've seen worse than this. Granted, it doesn't look good, but I've seen worse that people have actually come back from. you can just get your ducks in a row, like I said, a good excellent weather here, or renewed vigor, something with maybe a CG thrown in there. There's possibilities. It could still happen.
Yep. Now, if I were the vampire, I would play Strength next. Because Sewer just plays the garlic.
Right.
You just mesmerized him. What is Sewer going to expect? Answer, most
Well,
likely he's going to expect you to do fangs.
But he could also run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but this.
That's what I was
Yes,
thinking.
but. Yeah, but I would be willing to take that risk, and apparently Altaris is as well.
Yeah, I mean, trying to swipe that knife would have been a good.
Oh, don't complain, Altaris. You're in a dominating position.
I had 2 strengths. What a bad draw.
Hey.
That, in all seriousness, though, that is some of the drawback of the double vamp strategy that I've considered. Uh, which is like when Dracula puts down an encounter card, there's usually not really an element of chance, right? Like, sure, whether or not the hunter has the right card to deal with it, I guess there's some chance involved there. But like the encounter, more or less, broadly speaking, it just goes off. Uh, but with a vampire, if the whole value of the double vamp thing is dragging them into the combat, and if the combat doesn't go well or you don't get a good hand, then
yeah,
you lose
sometimes
some value out of it.
sometimes it works out. Like for instance, I did a double vamp in my last game of the tournament before I was eliminated, and managed to take out a hunter in doing so. He chose to land normally after 2 C moves. So that seems to say that he's at CAG. So if Mina excellent weathers to CAG. Ooh.
If Mina excellent weathers to CAG and Godalming checks 39 and he's not in either of those places, then you can CG him in Ireland.
Most likely.
Most likely. Now he could always be in Barcelona, you know. Hell, he could have even gone to 1.
Yeah.
But that's a little fringe.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't know. I would have checked 39. You never know.
Yeah, at this point you're desperate and you just gotta go for it. You gotta get it today.
Then again, if he doesn't have the CG, then checking 39 wouldn't matter anyway. So maybe it's better for him to try to get the CG instead.
Yeah, sure enough. So Seward has to kill the Reckless because if it is Cagliari, he can just hop back into the sea and that thing will still mature, finishing the job. I hope that's the stake he's drawn.
He could win while he's at sea.
Yeah.
Captain Dracula.
Yeah. Doing something. Oh.
Useful.
Lol. So. So, Donojack is going to have to try to clear that vampire at Lisbon. Unless Mina can somehow just excellent. Oh no. There's a small sliver of hope there for the hunters. If she did that.
You can't hide or feed.
Yes,
you
but the
go
problem.
to sea and land.
Okay, what? Okay, let's hope that he stakes the right one here. Okay, good. So that's that out of the way.
Now he has to fight this one again.
Yep.
Curse you, double vamp.
Yeah.
Okay, what's he gonna draw this time? Double strength again? Right when you don't want it? That's expected.
Nice. Okay.
That checks out.
Is he gonna get a bite in?
Poor
I might
Hyde
actually,
Vampire.
I might actually try to punch next, expecting a plotting because plotting hits both garlic and dodge,
Yeah.
which are the most obvious things to do. So I might actually do a punch. Yep, plotting. Oh. I mean, it's still not the worst thing because he does have the
Because
garlic.
you have your trusty garlic, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and since he used the dodge, it, I'm not sure if Donojack consciously knows this, but that was very good to choose that over the garlic. If you are going to change the plotting, because now you have the garlic for your next thing, and it's not on cooldown. Basically, use the thing that would be
Yeah,
canceled by plotting later first.
yeah. Save the garlic. I mean, you can take the bite token at this point, though. That's not really a big deal. Oh, he does get an influence out of that, but that doesn't even matter
Yeah, but you get the moral victory and it makes you feel a little better.
here. You shall not
Okay.
have me, vile wench of the
This
devil.
time, Dracula did get a clause to
Yeah, take that
deal damage.
garlic. You know the thing
So
about
now,
garlic, it always deals 2 damage, even if you're mesmerized.
yeah, garlic is definitely my favorite of the non-weapon things.
Yeah, it certainly has a niche.
And yes, that's even over Heavenly Host, unless, of course, I am reserving them for when and if I fancy to, which is almost always the case, admittedly.
Yeah, I have a soft
But
spot for garlic. It's bailed me out of trouble before.
same here. I
I had a friendly game one time where I got onto Dracula Space with Dr. Seward, and it was like Hail Mary pass. It was all or nothing. And he used his spy on me, and I revealed Heavenly Host and my garlic and some other stuff.
oh
But I ended,
oh
he got fanged, yeah. But I ended up
that's
using Lucky Find to grab a second garlic, right? So in the fight, I revealed the first garlic, and he thought, oh, now's the perfect time to fang, and then I flipped over the second garlic, right? He didn't think I'd have 2 garlics.
yeah. If Mia had excellent weather to Cag, there is a small chance that there
Yeah.
he might have actually dealt enough damage where he couldn't go back to sea.
I mean, what's his health at? 11. If she landed on him, I mean, she could have potentially done like 6 damage to him, maybe, if she got really lucky. And then he'd go to
I
sea and he'd be down to like 3. It'd be pretty tough. Yeah. I think this one's all over now, kiddos.
unless it's at Cag, because he has no way to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even, yeah,
Okay, it
it's
was indeed
Keg, but
Cag.
now he can just land and win.
Yes. Because Mia could have confronted him and tried to do sufficient damage where he would be unable to if she somehow managed to get 9 damage in, then he wins. Then the hunters win.
Yeah.
Because he's forced to either go to sea or Dark Call next.
And then he dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
9 damage is a pretty darn tall order, but it's
Yes,
your
but
only chance. You might as well go for it here, right?
yeah, but he didn't even try.
Or you could have even, if you had double excellent weather, I mean, you could have even positioned her and Van Helsing or her and Godalming to both go for it. And then, like, even if you get there and he's not there, you go, oh well, at least I tried.
Yeah. Apparently, Cyril carrying around a forewarned.
I mean, yeah, even if she didn't kill him, or even if she got him down to like 5, let's say, right? And then he goes to sea and now he's at 3. Well, I mean, you could potentially have CG'd like 25, 45, and 40 and make him move an additional sea zone. And then, I mean, you still probably wouldn't get the kill then, but if he was like, all right, let's say he was at 6 health, right? If she'd have done 5 to him, he would have been at 6. Then from there he moves and he goes down to 4.
Yeah. And then if you have
Then
CG, you can at
CG,
least.
and he has to move to Ionian and go down to 2. Okay, so it's not enough. She would have had to deal like
Should have had to deal
7
at least
damage to
7.
him, which I mean that's still less than 9. It's
Yeah.
a lot more doable than 9. She could have hit him with a heavenly host and a knife, and
Thing
then
she
if you
didn't have
have,
a knife.
yeah, you're right.
Unless she. I mean, she was applying, so she could have, I suppose.
But yeah, it's just interesting to think about that. Like, there still could have been. I mean, even as ahead as Dracula was most of that game, at the last second, she could have just played excellent weather. Here's a heavenly host. Here's a knife. Here's a CG. We win. You never know. As simple a combination of cards as that too. Nice. It's a win for Drac. Nice job,
Yeah.
Altaris.
Yeah,
Good
and he
effort,
just.
Donojack.
Yeah. I think it
Can't
really
win 'em
came down to the
all.
fact. I think the biggest thing that influenced all the rest was, uh, uh, it being Nina that went back without Seward going or one turn sooner to the east. That would have put additional pressure, possibly made him leave a bit sooner. Made there be less trail. Mia could have been there for doing scans.
Yeah, Seward could have helped
There's
clear
a
up that trail.
there's
Um,
a lot of things that I think could have gone better if
Gotta
he had done.
utilize that psychic bond. Yeah, I gotta take
Yeah,
advantage of that to eliminate lots of areas where he could be. It's crucial.
yeah, but well, nonetheless, GG
Good
well played
game.
both.
Good game. Thanks for joining, everybody in the stream. Thanks for joining me, Fangs, as always. It was a good time, buddy.
Yeah.
And on that, I'll be signing off, ladies and gentlemen.